It's nice with the decor in the background.
This place is absolutely stunning, and I'm really happy I found it.
Yeah, me too. It's
Because
gorgeous.
it couldn't be better.
No,
I think the conditions are good. It's quite quiet.
it's perfect.
It's perfect for this podcast. So, what do you know the goal of the podcast is, Janet?
No,
You know?
no idea.
So I thought that it would be interesting to meet people because everybody has experience or advice, yeah, that could be useful to other people.
For
So
sure.
I think it could be interesting sometime to have a conversation with somebody who can speak about what he lived, experienced, and maybe the advice or the experience that he had can be really useful to other people.
Definitely.
Because we don't
100%.
have million lives, and yes.
Yeah, it's a really, really good idea, I think.
Okay. So Janet.
Yes.
Maybe you could tell about. I know we've known each other for a while now.
A long time.
Since
like 2012 or something. So 7 years.
7 years. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so.
It is, isn't it? 7 years since since we met.
So maybe you could tell a little bit about you, so that other people know you a little better.
Okay, so I'm English.
Yeah.
And I came to France in 2003.
Okay.
And with my family, and I moved to Po in 2010.
Okay.
And that's really my children. I have 3 children, and they're all doing their own thing. They're all grown, and I'm planning to move back to England.
Which
soon.
seems like it's a big deal.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a huge deal.
It's a huge
Everything's changed since 2003, so it's going to be a big shock.
It's good because you have experienced many things in life.
Yeah,
You've
definitely.
traveled, moved, so you maybe have more experience than other people.
Yeah,
at
I
least in
guess.
those fields.
Yeah. There are some things I've experienced that many people don't. I'm lucky.
Yes.
I've really enjoyed living
in
here.
a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So my first question is going to be about happiness.
Oh my goodness.
I think is a subject that everybody looks for. So what makes you happy in general, in life in general, Janet?
What makes me happy is when people are kind and respectful, and just that, you know, my family are healthy and I'm healthy, and that just really globally, not speaking about my own personal life, just that people are good to each other.
So
and kind, it's a small thing, but it's some people just don't they don't build it into their daily lives. They're just distant and disconnected and unpleasant. But there are lots of very, very kind little things that people do that make me happy. It really does. It's a tiny thing, but it makes a big difference.
Makes you happy.
Yeah.
Makes you happy.
It does.
It does. So that's cool. I think kindness is something that is a bit underrated.
It really is. Those little smiles and merci or thank you or whatever, they really make a big difference.
It changes your day.
It does.
That's true. Things you're the most proud of?
My children.
That's
obviously,
which is great.
And I'm really proud of the fact that I can speak another language. I'm amazed
true.
that I managed to do that.
Okay, that's true. I didn't realize it actually.
When you learn a second language and then you can converse with people and read a document and understand it, it's amazing. It's a huge achievement.
This is something that we share almost.
Exactly, we
cool.
do.
And it's true that it's such a good feeling to be able to communicate like we do right now. Because imagine we wouldn't have been able to do that.
No. 10 years ago, we probably wouldn't. We would have managed, but it wouldn't have been like this at all.
I wouldn't have managed in my case.
No, well, me too. My French was bad. You must remember when we met in 2012. It was, very basic. But now,
Okay, that's interesting because moving in an all new country for you without knowing the language is a big deal.
That was very hard at the beginning. I didn't want to go outside. in case I just happened to see somebody who spoke to me.
Okay.
I literally didn't like leaving the house.
Okay.
But then, you learn.
So you encountered a lot of difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you manage to, overcome those difficulties?
Well, you just have to apply yourself to, you have to set a goal and then apply yourself, give the time, learn, take hours doing it that you would rather be doing something else. You have to commit fully. And if you do that and you practice and you make yourself go into situations that you're not quite comfortable with, that really pushes you to improve whatever it is you're doing.
Okay.
So you have to be out of your comfort zone.
I was thinking about it this morning actually. As I was writing down the questions, I thought I was thinking about what makes me happy. And actually one of those things was the fact of going out of your comfort zone. It's such a,
you have to, because you can't get anything otherwise.
It's a good piece of advice because it's not something that I listen a lot. We have a lot of advice about just working hard, trying hard to achieve things, but the actual fact of choosing to go outside your comfort zone, not everybody says that, and I think I totally agree, Janet.
Yeah,
I think
it's not an easy thing. The easy thing is to stay safe.
Yeah.
But you have to go a little bit further, and tiny bit by tiny bit, before you realise it really, it's just there. You just kind of go, hang on,
okay,
I've done really well.
Yeah, that's cool.
And in my experience, every new word that you learn and remember, and every time you use that word, it's really encourages you to push again and push a little bit further.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm very proud of that.
Okay, yes, you have. Yeah, because I know, because this is so daunting to learn a new language.
We've done it.
People think, it's easy. You just have to know.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
It takes a huge amount of work.
It does.
And,
it's easy if you try very, very hard and fully commit. I keep saying commit, but it's true. You have to make a decision to really try, and then it will come. It's slow.
Could you give little tips maybe to beginners, people who wants to learn? Written French, not the actual written like writing a book or something, but practice to writing the same sentences over and over again. Okay. Take a school book, and just write the same thing, because writing it makes it go into your head a lot quicker. Okay. And because the structure of the language is totally different, it's really important, in order to remember that, to write it, because if you say it, it's just not the same. It doesn't have the same impact on your brain. So writing it, and then the repetition maybe?
Yeah, definitely repetition, and ask people to correct you.
Okay.
Because they won't. So they're embarrassed to correct you, even though they should.
Yeah.
And they know that they should, but they just don't, because it's kind of impolite. But if you say to them, I really want you to correct me, then they will. Okay. And that really, really helps. Okay. Because when someone who's fluent in a language tells you, we don't actually say it like that, we say it like this, then you remember it. Okay. Yeah, so asking people to correct you is vital.
Yes. Also, that's a tip I haven't heard a lot.
Oh, okay. So I would definitely. I tell everybody I meet that if I make a stupid mistake, to tell me, because I'll probably think it's okay and it's not.
Okay.
And they won't. Like I said, naturally they'll be too embarrassed. They don't want to say you're wrong. So if you let them, then they're happy to do it. Okay. Yeah, that's my tip.
Great, Janet. Okay. That's great. So this thing makes you happy because somehow it was difficult, and because if it would have been easy, maybe you wouldn't have brought you this feeling of pride. Sorry, Janet. Thanks.
That's me correcting.
If I'm making a mistake, please tell me.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
I can't help myself. I try really hard.
That's good. So Yes.
Yes, if it was easy, the sense of achievement would have still been okay, but the fact that it was very hard, and me being a particularly shy person, speaking a different language in front of people was very tricky for me. So I had to, it had to be difficult, it had to be, and then the more I did it, the easier it became. But the achievement is, for me, when I arrived 16 years ago, there's literally no way I'm going to be able to speak this language. None, zero.
Because of your work you did.
Yeah, when I started, it was like, no way. But now I'm like, actually, yes. So that's why I'm proud, because it was very hard.
That's cool. And the thing was hard, but have you ever had problems that you proudly overcome?
Wow. With the language
or
with
in life in general,
Yeah, there have been things that have been very, very challenging, and I've had to reach really deep inside myself to find the strength to get through them, to manage and to be strong. And it's always easy to take the easy route, but the finding the hard way and digging in deep inside yourself, it's really tricky. It sounds really cliche.
Yeah.
It sounds really bad when I'm saying it, but it's true.
It's true.
You have to find the strength. You can't run away from it. You have to face up to it. That's my opinion.
It's something that you really share. Like, some people try to avoid problems, and I think they just, after a while, they just accumulate. The thing's they're gonna be there anyway. So face it, and even if you fail, at the end of the day, at least you will be quite proud about at least having tried as much as you could.
That another expression.
Yeah.
But what is it? Better to have tried and failed than to never have tried at all.
Okay.
I think it's true. You have to try, because you'll never know. You'll never know whether it may have worked.
Okay.
If you never try, but it's sometimes life throws very hard things at you sometimes.
Yes, and for the youngest of us, maybe sometimes you're surprised by how bad life strikes you, and in ways you wouldn't have imagined.
Exactly.
So you have to be ready to face those surprising things. Yeah,
they're there. You never know when they're going to come, and when they come, you just think it's the most horrible, difficult, impossible thing to face. But you just do, and you fight, and you get through it, and then you look back on it and think, it was bad, but I'm here.
Because with English, for example, you could have just stopped trying, and then you wouldn't be in this good situation today, because you just got a job thanks to French.
Exactly.
So imagine not only you overcome this thing which allowed you to have this normal life in France, but also it now allows you to have.
It's changing my future. It added a major skill to my CV, and because I'm comfortable with French, I've managed to get this job. I wouldn't have got anywhere near this job if my French had been, just okay.
It
has to be strong, and because I worked hard and committed, now I have a job that's going to change my future.
Yes, an extra thing for me is this notion of learning during your life, even when school is over, doesn't mean that you have to stop learning.
Definitely not.
Yes, because we have this idea that we're going to learn a lot of things at school and then we're going to work and this is the way it is. But no, that's just false, especially nowadays.
Yes, definitely.
We are lucky enough to have so many means to learn things, 100%. Frankly.
And it's really good for the brain.
Yes, also.
When you get older, as I'm kind of headed that way, you have to keep your brain active and you have to stimulate your brain cells to stay fully functional.
I think the more skills you have, the more possibilities you're going to have, job-wise or in life, even just to socialize.
Yeah.
Like we do, like I wish I'm going to do, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's
and if you meet new people, it's always really interesting to have conversations about things that you've learned or things you've experienced, and if you don't do other things outside of your job if you just go to work and go home and go to work and go home. You know, it's kind of, your life becomes not unimportant, but just the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And when you're learning new things and experiencing new things, it's just interesting and exciting.
It makes you stronger at work, because if you know that you have an extra skill, maybe you don't have to be that worried about what could happen at work.
For sure, it gives you that security to know that even if something bad did happen at work and you had to leave, then you have a strong, a strong skill set to take forward. Yeah.
And I think once you've done that, once you've done it once, then you know that you have this ability to learn again.
Yeah, that's the exciting thing.
Okay.
When you feel like it's really hard and you literally can't progress, but then in 3 months' time you actually look back and say, actually, I did progress. So you know that you can, and so it gives you that boost to add even more information and
that's
learning.
True.
It's very true, actually.
And then after you seek out for things to learn that could be interesting.
100%. Also. When I first came to France, I was kind of in a situation which was fine, but I was just happy, just ticking over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now, because I've learned to speak this language and I'm comfortable speaking a second language, which I never believed, I'm very encouraged to continue studying, to keep on learning. And I never thought I'd get this far, so I can absorb information.
Yes, and you took an exam, like a contact exam?
I did.
Yes.
yeah, that's true.
Did the fact of having learned French encouraged you to take this exam? Or?
Well, for sure, because I would never have even done the training course if I hadn't been able to speak French. I could never have done it. And the compta was totally different to the French, but again, at the beginning it was like I was getting like 5 out of 20 and then 7 and 3 and I thought I'm never going to be able to do this.
Okay.
But then again, I just committed to doing 100% of my best, and I finished the exam with like 37 out of 40 or something. Whereas at the beginning it was kind of 6 and 7. It's ridiculous.
Yes, and I think there is something that you just said that is interesting. I did my best, because sometimes we have a tendency to compare ourselves to others.
Yeah.
And then when people are better because they have better abilities, then we could be discouraged. But I think the way you have to go through that is not use comparison as something that could put you down, probably, but more as an exercise. That it's adversity, and it's just about me doing the best I can do, and not about other people achieving things.
So there's always somebody that's
my route,
Yeah, 100%. There's always somebody that's better than you, or cleverer than you, or prettier than you, or whatever the stereotypical beauty or intelligence or whatever. But you can't. That's very true that you can't compare yourself to other people, because as long as you're doing that, you're just constantly putting yourself back steps, and you take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and you think, oh, I'm not as good as her, I'm not as thin as her, I'm not as pretty as her, or whatever that thing is. You can't do that. You have to. The battle has to be with yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that yes.
And if you push yourself, then and you achieve the best that you can achieve, that's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good. I think we have a lot of advice here.
We do. This is we had this conversation the other day, Jean-Marc, when we were talking about what advice we would give to our younger self, or today's teenagers, let's say. And when you're young, you just think, everything is going to be hard and everything's a battle and stuff. But and you're so insecure because you're young and hormonal. That's. Yeah. When you get to my age, if only we could put this in a little bottle, all this experience, but it's impossible to do that, obviously.
So it's funny you just said that, Janet, because it was, almost the next question. So then let's go for it then. What would you say to your 20-year-old self?
My 20-year-old self?
Yes.
Wow. What would I say to her? Wow, that's a big one, isn't it? We didn't go to 20, did we? We spoke about teenagers. No, we can go backwards. My teenage self, that's self. Okay. When I was 20, I was, I would, to my 20-year-old self, I would say you are deserving. You deserve a good life, and you deserve the life that you want.
Okay.
Don't accept second best. Don't settle. Okay. Don't go down a path you're really not comfortable with.
Okay.
That's what I would tell my 20-year-old self.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Take your time. There's no rush. That's what I would say to her. Don't rush it.
Don't rush.
Well,
so for young people, don't rush.
Yeah, take your time. Be sure. Be 100% sure that the path you're on is the path that you want to be on.
That's a huge thing because, like, the decision that you're taking at 18, 20 have huge consequences on your life.
It changes the rest of your life.
For sure, you can change it afterwards, and you can add a lot of things. But if you take like a good start, then everything is going to be easier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that's.
Yeah, I think the key word I would put in there is just wait. And be sure, not wait like 10 years, but just be certain. Yeah, be certain that the decisions you're making are the right ones for you, not for anyone else. And remember, like you said, it has an impact on the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like your whole life can change.
Yes. And the thing is, it's a moment in life where you have to take maybe the most important decision, and also the time you don't have a lot of experience to make the right choices. So it's kind of difficult.
Yes, it really is. It really, really is. But rushing in is just 100% the wrong thing to do.
But luckily, thanks to the podcast, I'm sure that they will have.
Yeah, hopefully. But you just don't know. That's the thing. It's the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen the day after tomorrow or the next week or next month. So you kind of worry about the future when you're so young. You really don't need to worry about the future right now. Just make sure that
I think this is also an interesting subject. The worry that we have in life, we have a tendency to worry more than the generation before us did.
Yeah, definitely. I would say so, but I suppose we'd need to speak to somebody who was that generation.
I remember my grandparents being worried about
that's
future.
True.
Well, they were already old, obviously, but I mean the general discussions
life was simpler back then. I think people just wanted to work in a job and get money, and that was it.
Yeah, we're in the era where we have the more options, and then we are more worried.
Yeah, it's true. It's strange. It's a strange one, but I think that the society today kind of makes you panic about certain things. And worry just in general. There's so much pressure put on having the perfect future and fitting inside this little box, and you should just do what feels right.
That's another thing, Janet. It wasn't in the list of questions I wanted to ask, but sometimes in life you might wonder, should I follow my passion and commit 100%? Or should I just have a normal job to make sure that I have enough money to pay the rent?
Yeah, that's a big one. It's impossible to answer because every single person and every single passion is, not necessarily a viable passion as far as finance is concerned. Yeah. But it's just so sad if you work a job that you absolutely hate just because you need to make money. Yeah, I don't know. I would say follow your passion, but is that realistic? I don't know.
I know we don't have all the answers, Janet.
I wish I had all the answers. Good Lord. If only I had all the answers, that would be good. But no, I don't. It's everyone's individual choice. But yeah, of course, if you can do a job that you're passionate about, you never go to work, really, do you?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
always happy and always passionate.
Another thing also, if you can learn things through life, you might find like possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. There are ways, you know, I mean, everyone knows that being an artist or a dancer is a difficult career path to take, but there are ways that you can use your skills and your passion in a job that's not necessarily just being an artist. You know, being an artist to sell paintings is a really hard path, you know, it just is. But if you can find a job where you can use your art, you know, that's a compromise. I guess you have to make a compromise or commit to having a life of poverty and then your paintings sell for millions when you're gone. I don't know. It's a tough one to answer.
It's a tough one to answer.
It really is.
I agree. Something to pass on, a bit of advice, something meaningful to you, a meaningful story that you would have and you would like people to maybe know about.
Wow. That's a really hard one. It's a really hard one. You're putting me on the spot there. Wow. I don't know. There are so many things that have happened in my life, and like nothing dramatic. I think I would say when I was 18, I decided to move and travel and do something, and I moved to America for a couple of years.
Yeah, you did.
I did
too. That's
amazing.
That's
and
great.
It was like a kind of a spur of the moment decision, but I just thought I need to change. I need to do something. I need to travel, and it kind of all fell into place, and ended up living in San Francisco. So I guess that's an interesting story. And I experienced 2 years. I stayed 2 years, a little bit longer than I should have. But yeah, I would say I would like, you know, if to people that are thinking, oh, it's too hard, or it's too busy, or it's too expensive, just, you know, I don't regret that decision, and I always look back on it and refer to it as something interesting in my life.
Because you dared.
Because exactly. I did. I took a huge risk.
And once more you went out your comfort zone, probably, because this is huge.
Most definitely. I was unbelievably shy back then and terrified of everything. Like, a stupid example is I would have a handbag.
Yeah.
And because I was only 18, I felt like I shouldn't have a handbag. So I would have a handbag, but I would put it inside another bag. Okay. Like a normal bag.
Okay.
Which was, somebody pointed out to me in a joke once, only you would do that. And that just confirmed to me how very insecure I was.
Okay.
And how much I needed to experience stuff. And this person probably doesn't even remember saying it to me, but it has such a big impact on me.
It's interesting because sometimes everybody has this type of behavior. We think that we are the only one to do that, but no, everybody has.
Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah, I suppose everyone.
Things.
Yeah. So that was kind of a thing that made me go, yeah, that's absolutely right. I need to change something, and that started my plans to travel and go and live in a different country.
Yeah, maybe thanks to this first experience of traveling or moving, you know, because
I realized it was easy.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't as scary as I thought.
Okay, and that's also, especially when you're young, because as soon as you realize, well, it's difficult, but it's doable, then you have like your own range of new possibilities, which...
Yeah, it opens doors. It makes you realise that, you know, you can do it. You can. It might not be perfect. It might be exactly what you think it's going to be, but it's doable, like you said. And yeah, I would definitely recommend.
Had an interesting life, Janet.
I don't know about that. I guess it's not. I haven't lived in the same town my whole life, and I have lived.
There are people who actually have lived their whole life in the same small village, just. Because they didn't dare. Yeah. That's it.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I don't, you know, every single person has their own choices to make. And my commitment, or my, not courage, my decision to travel and experience new things was my decision personally. But if your decision is to, you know, to build a house in the village that you love, that you live in, or to buy a little shop in the village that you love to live in, you know, that's your adventure. and that's, you know, each person has their own exciting thing that they want to do. Mine was to travel and to experience new things. Somebody else's maybe something else. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to stay in the same place, but my experience was to not stay in the same place.
But once more, I didn't ask you about it. You've told me.
Sorry, I'm giving you all this information.
My point is, it's because you remember it, because it was something like super good for you.
Yeah, it was.
If you wouldn't have dared, and you wouldn't have this feeling today of having been there for 2 years, just experiencing an all new life.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So what was amazing about San Francisco?
Oh, it's just like a weird dream. It's kind of like you're in a movie, you know, when you see all the tram cars and the wharf and just all the streets that are really, really the bendy, you know, the squiggly streets, and just the houses, and the nightlife is amazing. It's just an amazing city.
So it's something that you wouldn't have ever, sorry, you have to help me on this one, Janet.
Okay.
You wouldn't have ever lived.
Well, I didn't have to help you.
Sorry.
You did it. I knew you would do it.
This one, I think that
I always wait until you find it.
I'm going to commit and...
Yeah, I would never have had this experience if I hadn't been brave or stupid. I don't know. I kind of dove in.
I think it's brave because I'm sure you're not stupid, Janet.
It was a bit reckless, I think, maybe. But I could have ended up anywhere. Like the jobs were everywhere.
Okay.
And I just happened to apply to this one, and it was in San Francisco. But San Francisco was really interesting to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost went to Israel.
Okay.
So I'm really happy that I didn't go there.
Okay.
It was far too bloody hot. But yeah, no, it was brilliant. Yeah, it definitely enriched my life, for sure.
Also, because at some point in our life, everything doesn't stop, and it's important to make sure that when it's gonna happen, we will have no regrets.
Yes.
And I think that's about it. Life is about it.
It's
about
really.
You know, have no regrets, and I think doing that when you're young seems to be like a very good option, because you step out of comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it gives you like a new range of possibilities. You know that you can travel and you can go almost anywhere.
Yeah, you can.
Probably did it give you a sort of confidence that you didn't
definitely.
have before?
It was kind of shocking to me because I did it, and then whilst I was there, it kind of occurred to me what I was doing, and I don't think I really thought about it that much until I was actually there.
Okay.
And then I was in the city and seeing all these things, like, wow, I'm actually here, you know, I'm actually doing this. And it's kind of, I didn't really kind of go, okay, this is my plan, you know, in 3 months' time I'm going to do this, and in 3 months' time I'm going to do that. It was just kind of I need to change something and live something, and it was all very quick.
Okay.
But it was 100% the best thing I've ever done.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Because it changed my whole personality. Because arriving when I was 18, I was so scared of just everything, really, and that made me stronger. And I met lots of really interesting people, English people, like other women that were in my situation. We were nannies. I was a nanny.
Okay.
But so it definitely changed the path of my life.
Okay.
It did. It made me a different person. When I came back, I was different.
Okay. Moving when you have the possibility. Is
it can't be negative. It has to. Even if maybe something bad will happen whilst you're there. You'll meet somebody that's not nice, or you'll meet somebody that you don't like, or they don't like you. But that's part of life. But the whole experience globally just changes your mindset.
That's interesting to know.
I think that's what made it easier for me to move to France. Because it wasn't that big a deal. It's just a different country.
Okay.
What's the worst that can happen, kind of thing.
Okay, so no fear of moving to France.
No. The world is so small now. You can travel so easily.
Yeah.
Just take a chance.
That's cool. That's really cool, actually. That's a good message, Janet. And this is the last question, Janet. Wow.
Let's do this.
Done it,
better not be hard.
Okay, so yes, I think that it's still recording. Luckily. So we started with happiness.
Okay.
So Janet, what is your formula to happiness?
Oh my God.
That's a huge one, this one. Yes.
Alors, I'm just going to say what first came into my mind. Just to be happy with what you have, with what your life is. Mm-hmm. It's not to say that you should settle. That's not the same thing.
Okay.
But you should try to find, happiness in little things, like happiness in the fact that, you have a roof over your head, mm-hmm. you have a bed to sleep in, or you have a good friend, or you have a healthy family, or you have just good relationships, just little things, rather than saying, I can't be happy unless I earn this amount of money, or unless I drive this car, mm-hmm. or have this house. Just be happy with the small things. Just don't make yourself unhappy your whole life because you're chasing something that's not achievable. Not easily achievable, let's say. So don't think that happiness is connected to things.
Yeah, that's so true. Especially nowadays, we have everything, and in the history of men, we haven't been more worried about not having this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, people used to be happy with, just the basics, just what you need, not what you want. What you need, but now people are always pushing for more. And
sometimes we have a tendency to think, because I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna be happier.
Yeah,
that's a trick.
Yeah, don't think that.
Yeah,
because it's not gonna make you happy. All of the little things are what makes you happy.
We have maybe the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think that getting something is necessarily negative. You can get something and have happiness from
100%.
But if you live your life thinking that getting things all over the place is going to make you happy, that's just false.
No. Yes, it'll make you happy. Of course, this is my dream car. Yay, I'm happy. But then once you've had the car for a while, it's your car and it's fantastic. But there are so many other things that go together to make you fully happy.
Yeah.
Because you can have your dream car, but then if your girlfriend breaks up with you and you're sad, then the dream car doesn't have the same impact. So yes, it's a nice thing. Of course, it's good to have, but don't think that having that one thing is going to make everything perfect.
Yeah.
Because it has to be more than that.
Yeah.
That just one thing or two
yes,
things.
I agree that it could hide what makes you really happy.
Yes.
Like you get this instant happiness, like a quick shot of happiness, getting this thing that you think is going to make your life better.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, try to think about the thing that you really like for real, like friends, or motivation, or a goal, or this type of things.
Yeah. To be satisfied is good. To have goals and dreams, you have to have those, but be satisfied with what you have, and don't punish yourself because you don't have that, or you can't get that, or that didn't work, or whatever. That's just a waste of time. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make it suddenly be okay, or suddenly you have your dream job. It just wastes your time and energy thinking, if only I had that, or if only I had done that.
Yes, and very often in life, the thing you don't have in your mind when you're dreaming about something, then when you actually get it, it creates other problems in your life. Sometimes you think that because you're going to get it or get that, it's going to solve all the worries that you have, and it's you wait to get it to allow yourself to be happy, and then when you get it, you realize how actually it wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't quite. You don't ever get the feeling that you think you're going to get.
Yeah.
Not fully.
Yeah,
it's not, and it's difficult because you build it up so much, and then it's like, oh. It's kind of an anticlimax.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because that's that's just a waste of your energy. You just need to, use your energy, emotional energy, physical energy, whichever, in a good way, in a positive direction, if you like. Yeah.
Okay.
On things that are worthy. Because of wasted energy and regrets, like you spoke about earlier.
Yes.
Regrets are useless. They really are. I don't regret anything that I've done. My life took a strange path, which I wasn't really ready for, but I don't regret the choices I made.
Two interesting things here. Life very often took a path, an unexpected path, and I think that's I've been surprised life puts you or brings you things, unexpected things.
For sure.
And very positive ones sometimes.
Yeah, they can be.
Things you didn't plan before, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this thing is actually amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yes, there are bad things, but there are lots of really, really good things as well.
Surprise as well.
And again, don't regret any decisions that you made, because you made the decision. That's it. Just get on, move on, and handle it in the best way you can. I guess. Yeah. I don't believe in wasting time worrying about which decision you want to make. If you have to choose between that or that, just kind of clear your mind and just wait. And the decision that you make was always going to be the decision that you make, without all the worrying and backing and throwing. Backing and throwing in between.
Because this is a thing also in life. Very often, making a decision, it makes you super sad, when really it shouldn't be.
No.
But because you have the choice and you have to choose one or the other, which means that you won't have the other one.
Yeah, that's it.
All of a sudden it's a big, massive deal. So you on this point, your piece of advice is worry, but don't worry too much.
Exactly. Don't be too impulsive, but don't spend too much time worrying.
Yes, because the time we spend worrying about those choices in life it's a massive deal.
Yeah, and it's hours and days and weeks sometimes, but you just have to just go along with what feels best and what feels right and natural. My decision to go back to the UK was a huge decision, and now I have good things about England, but leaving France is really hard as well. I've made friends here, and I have a story to tell from here, and and it's Po is an amazing, stunning city with amazing people, and just the scenery and the castle, and just it's beautiful. And that now I'm feeling that.
Which means that when you get something, there are consequences.
Exactly.
And life is, you're gonna have struggle in life anyway.
Yes.
100%. So accept it and don't worry too much about it.
No, that would be good advice to myself, probably to other people as well. When my children have a decision to make, I just tell them to just go with what feels right and don't waste too much time worrying about it, because it's not going to change. The decision that they make in the long run. Just go with what's natural, and if it works out, then that's amazing, and if it doesn't, then you just go back and try again. And keep moving forward.
That's really good, Janet. I think it's a good conclusion for the podcast.
Yes, I think so.
So I want to thank you a lot for
accepting
the invitation, Janet.
I'm really happy to have been here.
It was a pleasure. So I'm really happy about it.
Me too.
It's a good experience.
It was very cool.
Thank you, Janet.